Hi, today we're talking in the Bible about a woman that she left full. She came back just empty, and God still redeemed everything. If you've ever thought, what happens if my child comes back, but they're not the same? So, what if they come back broken, hurting, or empty? This, if you've wondered that, this is for you. Because most parents focus on when will they come back? But the Bible shows us something deeper. What God does when they do. Because leaving changes people, the decisions they make, the things that they experience, the places that they go. It does leave a mark. Everything that we do, all the choices that we make, there are reactions. So, as a parent, there's a quiet fear. What if? And I definitely have gone through that. The what if. If they come back, what condition will they be in? The book of Ruth starts with a family leaving. Naomi leaves the place God had them, and in that place, away, everything falls apart. There's loss, there's grief, and there's brokenness. And eventually, she does come back. But listen to how she describes herself. She says, I went away full, and the Lord has brought me back empty. So she felt depleted, empty. Sometimes we go through a storm in our life where it looks like there's no coming back. It looks like a devastation. And that is how she saw her life. She saw that she's been through the worst and there's nothing left, empty. And that's where some of us parents, this is what many parents are afraid of. Not just that their child left, but what they've walked through and has left them empty. Emotionally, spiritually, and mentally. Maybe they've changed physically, but the story does not end there. God was working even in what looked like loss, devastation, physical changes, permanent changes, not loudly, not obviously, but intentionally. That's how God works, continually. Even when we can't see it, feel it. Ruth, the one who came back with Naomi, was not part of the original plan. One of the daughter-in-laws left, but Naomi stayed. She was part of God's plan. She may not have been part of Ruth's plan, but she was part of God's plan. And through Ruth, God begins to rebuild what Naomi thought was gone, devastated, not redeemable. So stay with me, because this is where hope becomes real. And this is where I sought the Lord and the Lord answered, like the song goes. God brings Boaz into the story. And if you've read the story, he's a redeemer, not someone Naomi could have planned, because she followed Ruth to another place. Not someone she could have arranged, because, like I said, they moved. But someone God had positioned. He knew. Redemption did not come from Naomi fixing her own past. It came from God stepping into it. And Naomi couldn't fix her path, her own, she couldn't fix it. Naomi could not undo what had already been done, because all of Ruth's sons had died. She could not restore what was lost on her own, and neither can your child. Redemption is not built on what they fix. It is built on what God restores. So if your child comes back and they're not the same as when they left, that does not mean that the story is over. It just doesn't. And that's what gives me hope, is the redemption story that only God can do. It may be exactly where God begins his work. Let me say this to you today. God is not limited by where they have been, where they have gone, what they have done to their body, their voice, not their choices, not their past, not their condition. Body, soul, spirit, mentally, physically, God is a miracle working God. At the end of Ruth, we see something powerful. This story becomes part of a bigger story, a lineage. And from that lineage came Jesus. So what looked like loss became part of redemption. And I know this is hard to believe when you're in it, especially when you're still in the grieving process as well, because you're looking at what's missing and what's broken and what's changed, because there's a lot that can change. But God is looking at what he can rebuild. Nothing in your child's life or in your life is wasted in God's hands. Nothing. And that's a wonderful thing to be reminded of. And that is what God reminded me. That is why I can talk to you today without bawling my eyes out and crying and being sad and distraught, because I sought the Lord and he answered, and these are the answers he gave me. Now, do I still have a journey ahead? Yes. But he's walked with me in this journey and talked to me in this journey. So what do? You trust that God knows how to restore and redeem. Not in your timing, not always in the way you expect it, because that is what I am also I am trying not to expect it to go my way, the way I think it should go, the way I want it to go, but that it's going to be done in the way that is best to glorify God and to help me and my child. Not, but completely, not always in the way I expect or you expect, but completely. Now, Ruth is not just a story about loss. It is a story about redemption that comes quietly but fully. And the same God who restored Naomi's story is still restoring today. He's restoring your story and your child's story. And that's what gives us hope today. If this spoke to you, please subscribe because I am sharing my journey with you. And I know it will help you because it helped me because it's my journey. But I have a feeling it's your journey as well. So subscribe for biblical encouragement in real life situations and through the Bible. And you can find more on Carrie Spirit-Filled Living, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. All right, guys. I appreciate that you're here walking through this journey with me and me with you and just Jesus all the way. If you need extra support, I am here to support you. You can comment, I need life coaching, and we will dive deeper into this together. All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.